Good evening. Welcome. Hello. We've made it to Thursday. We are through the other side. How lovely is that? We got through the day that breaks some, but not everyone. There's those people out there that are determined that we're able to break through the mental barrier of yesterday. The mindset, the money, the premium brand, so much happening. Hello, Sharon, how are you? Who else have we got? People pinging in now, seeing who I've broke, who I haven't broke. It's only Sharon. Hello, Adrian, how are you, my lovely? Hope everything is okay. See who else we've got. Hello, Rachel, hello. Good, thanks, you're good. I've got the rain chucking it down over the studio. The cats are coming in, sleeping wherever they can. They're very good at that. And that's it. Daniel, good evening. Everyone found today the hardest so far, but enjoyable. Oh, now that's funny, isn't it, Daniel? Being new to food photography, and this is the day that you feel is toughest. Sorry, just dropped something. Becky, hello. Sorry, no time to shoot today. Will do my best to catch up tomorrow. Not a problem. You've got all weekend. Tomorrow is obviously the last live critique, but you've still got time to do everything through the weekend. So don't worry. Liz, hello. Sandy, hello. Rachel, thoroughly enjoyed today. Got a bit carried away. Oh, I think that's lovely. I think that's really good. Brilliant. So I've got a few of you back from earlier. How did you find it meeting my Academy members earlier? They did get a bit silly by the end, probably me as well. But how did you find meeting some of them or some of the faces behind the names? Let me know what you thought. Let me know if it was useful to help you on your food photography journey. Christian, hello. Sorry, I hadn't time to shoot today. It's okay. It's not school. You don't have to. You can still be here and you can learn from the critiques of others. That's the beauty of it. We can talk through things by seeing other people's photos. So please don't worry. Hello, Eula. Hope all is okay. Clive, was great to meet them. Brilliant. Liz, you found it useful? Fantastic. So inspiring. They are a good bunch, aren't they? Definitely useful. Yeah. Ask away. Book a call with me if you want to know anything else. If you want to put anything into the group for the Academy members, put it in. I have spoken to quite a few people today, and it's so lovely hearing your journeys and everything that's happening in your life and why food photography is so important to you, and how making money from food photography, doing something you enjoy and realizing there's actually money in it, it's just very fulfilling to see how you can expand your minds and earn more and be happy. And I feel that because that's where I started, in a pretty miserable state that I had grown a business that I didn't even like. So swapping to food is joyful. Rachel, they were great. Even with the gingerbread man dance. Yes, Phil. The gingerbread dance was a hoot. Yeah. But were you still there, or was it when we got off the air, he just went and bit their heads off? It's like, we're all like, Phil. Daniel, great today, seeing people who were at the stage of where I'm at today. Yeah, it is, isn't it? None of us have superpowers. I'm not going to say none of us are special, because my Academy members are all special, but I am an average Joe that just worked bloody hard to turn my business round and to create something that gave me time and gave me money. And then to put that model forward and give that to other people is very rewarding when I see comments and things they're saying today about their business and their life and how it's making them happy. So yes, they are very inspiring. Denise, I have superpowers. Do you? What are your superpowers? What can you do? Other than with a camera, of course. I have also had quite a few messages today. I'm really sorry I can't get back to people. But I seem to be everywhere this week, and it's all just happened in the same week. And I'm so sorry that those of you with the Guild, I've got a big article on how to like food, natural versus artificial. So I've had people reading the article in the Guild's magazine. And then today that popped through the door, the image maker. And I've been ribbed all day about this, that I got an interview and I got pages and pages in the magazine. So I got 6 pages for an interview, and I've been completely ribbed today by all my photography friends of Are You Taking Over the World? So I'm so sorry. I am in a few places today, this week, but just bear with me. I will disappear into a little hole for a little while and have a sleep soon. Denise, invisibility. I walk in a room with my kids and they can't see me. Like it. Nice. Kathy, hello Kathy. Anything else? Any other revelations before I get started? It will not be as long as last night. Oh my goodness, I got off there. I don't know what time it was. I fed the kids in the end. It was just like, throw something at the oven. It wasn't, let's just say it wasn't food photography worthy. It just got chucked at speed at the oven and then waited for them to come downstairs as soon as they smelt it. So today, was it a fun task? Did you enjoy it? Put it on your bucket list, Rachel. The universe will hear you if you write it down and have it on that list. But more about positive affirmations and talking to the universe and manifesting at a whole other time. That isn't today, is it? But yeah. It's funny today because Daniel, you found today the hardest day, whereas so many other people were going, oh, it was fun. I'm doing a flat lay. It's creative. So blah, blah, blah. Kathy, you thought today was good. Cherry running out again. Not around. Apologies. We'll do catch up. No problem. Nice to see you, Cherry. Was great fun, quite challenging. Oh, Clive, tell me what was challenging about the flat lay. Because that would be good to know. And while you are, I'm just going to get the questions up for tonight. Let's have a look what we've got. So quite a few questions. Quite a few. Rachel loved today. Tom, yes. Enjoyed the challenge. Not enough time to do everything. I know. You know, we are learning things on steroids this week. I am just going, bam, take that. And literally, as you saw yesterday, I've got 10 modules in the academy. I've just brought out a cherry on the cake of 5 of those modules just to give you something to show you the depth of what you can do with food photography. Okay, on to the questions. Karen. Sorry, don't say sorry for being bad at the challenge. No one is bad at the challenge. Everyone is busy. Everyone's got their own life. We can't fit everything in all the time. So please don't apologize if it doesn't fit in. What did she ask? Sorry. I was really looking forward to it. I found everything very helpful. Oh, I don't think there's a question there. I'm so sorry, but please stop beating yourself up, everyone. If all of you did a photo every day, we just wouldn't find them in the group. You know, that's the beauty of it. People can dip in and dip out and get the bits that help them to move them forward, to get them unstuck to the next part that they need to be. So no one needs to apologize. It's not school. Clive, it's a couple of years since I tried a flat lay. Also had to relearn how to tether the Nikon and use natural light for a change. So you just went for the whole shebang, did everything together, did you? Hello, Christine. Hal tidied up all the set props food just now. Oh, yeah, it can get messy, can't it? Tom, my question is, do you have a checklist that you use before going out on a shoot at a client's location? And do you shoot more on location than you do in the studio? So I'll start with the first question. Do you have a checklist that you use? Yes, I have several checklists. I've got checklists for checklists. I have a checklist of all my equipment. So in my module 6 that you saw yesterday, it's got all the planning, tracking, analysing. All of my checklists go into there on what to pack, down to remembering to take my tea bags and my water. It starts with backdrops, backgrounds, lights, tether lead, cables, extension lead, because I used to have sleepless nights. When I first started it, I'd have sleepless nights when I was packing up the studio the night before, because I'm usually on the road by about 6 o'clock. So I just have a checklist and I just tick it off when I've packed it. Some of the stuff that's not valuable, I put into the car the night before if I'm going in the car. If I'm going into London, I just have to keep it all by the front door. And then I just have a little bit left at the in the morning that I've got to put in that morning. But yeah, everything is ticked off, because I can be sitting on the M25 going, oh, have I got my tether lead? I can't do it if I haven't got my tether lead. And I just had to stop all that, because it's not good for your health if you're like this all the time. So yes, that would be one of them. As for a shoot, a checklist that you use before going on the shoot, yes, I fill that out with the client. I know every shot that we're doing. I know what plates, accompaniments, is it a plate, is it a bowl, does it have a napkin with it, does it have cutlery with it, does it have ingredients, does it have any accompaniments, before I go. They get the best amount of photos from me if they've told me everything up front. If they don't, they get less. That's entirely up to them. But normally they want to fill out the spreadsheet for me to go through every single thing that's happening. So I can say, okay, we're on to the second one. We're doing the stir fry. It's with this, you've said it's a bowl. We're going to have chopsticks. We're going to have a napkin in there. And we're going to have some soy sauce on the table. So I know exactly what's coming up with each one, especially if they're not used to photo shoots and they're running around like headless chickens. I'm not. I'm doing a photo shoot all the time. Doesn't make any difference to me. And do I shoot more on location than I do in my studio? I do. But now I'm at the point with some of my regular clients, if it's something cold or it's something that doesn't need to be styled or prepped, they will send me a box of their food and I will do it in the studio. Sometimes if there's not much prep work, they'll come to me, but a lot of the time I go to them. And especially if it's a restaurant, they want the restaurant or the cafe in the background. So yes, I am out a lot more than I am in, but bearing in mind, I only photograph 1 or 2 days a week. So to go out 1 or 2 days a week maximum is okay for me to be traveling. Daniel, first ever time taking a flat lay, realize why I need a tripod. Yeah, it's a thing. How it happened to me as well. Went for different settings, angles and props, make the most of the day, right? Oh, so Tom, I hope that answers your question. Becky, do you bring loads of props with you to a location shoot? Because you'll have done this deep dive of what everything is, will depend on what props you take with you, and you will know the props you're taking for each dish. If, for example, I'm working with a restaurant, I take very little. Sometimes they'll say, we want some different napkins, but basically the restaurant don't want to use your cutlery, plates, everything. They want to use theirs, so that when people see the menu and they see their pictures and it's delivered out to them, it's delivered out on the plate that they've seen the picture for. So when it's restaurants are really easy, or cafes where they've got all their own crockery, cutlery, everything. You're shooting with all their stuff. One of my recurring clients, they are a online food delivery place, and I look after them. I shoot with them every month. I take all the props with me. I build all the sets. I give them way above and beyond what I should, but I'm with them every month. So that's like my recurring income, because they're one of the clients that I know are paying me every month. And when you've got a month like January or August, or a month that can be really quiet, to have recurring income from clients is brilliant. So I do look after them really well. I hope that answers that, Becky. Laura, along a similar line, how do you know that the image is right? Is it just an experience thing, or is it via consultation with your client? A bit like Tom is asking, do you have a checklist? I tether. I've got the checklist. I know exactly what's going into each picture. I tend to say to them whether I'm photographing at 45 degrees, flat lay, whatever I'm doing first. Then I tether. They see every photo on the laptop, and food photography is faffy. We might have a fork in there. We might move the fork 15 times until the fork looks right, until the napkin looks right, until we've got the food looking exactly right. But we're all looking at it on the screen at the same time. And I might go, I'm not happy with that. It's normally more me. I'm going, I'm not happy with that. I just want to move that. And they go, oh yeah, I see that. And then they might start to see something. And I've got a little steamer. If my napkin looks really creased and isn't sitting right in the picture, I'll just quickly take a moment and steam my napkin. Depends who you're working for, depends what they want, depends who needs it and how they want it. Becky, thanks, no problem. Fiona, hello. Liz, I've never tethered. Is it easy? If you've got the right software to go with the right camera, it's brilliant. When I have been sharing my screen with you guys this week, I've been tethering live into the video for you so that you can see it at the same time, and that's what you're seeing on the screen. Hope that answers that, Laura. Sandy, when thinking of a restaurant shoot, if it is local, do you try to visit before the shoot day to see what you might use as props so that you know how much little to bring? Or do you deal with that sort of detail on Zoom? And I see there is a connection with Tom's question, so looking forward to hearing how you plan. Okay, so I am not going to make a trip to a venue that is 2 hours away. I'll ask them to send me photos of the whole room, and I ask them to take it from the door and say to them, I want to know what light you've got in the room. I want to know what space you've got in the room. So they either do me a video or they do me photos, so I can see what I've got to take with me. If I know the place, I can know exactly what to take. If I don't, I probably take a little bit more to light or to block the light with me. But most of the time, I've got a picture from them showing me the room that I'm going to be working in. So that's how I work with them. I don't think I've ever turned up and don't know the room I'm in. Okay, Renee, do you have a favorite lens you like to use for your food photography? I do. I have been answering that one this week. I predominantly use a 50mm lens more for my flat lays, or when I want a long depth field in my picture. My favorite is my 105mm macro lens for all the beautiful strawberry hairs standing on end. And my halfway house is an 85mm lens. All prime lenses, no zoom lenses. Kathy, it's best to remove camera straps when you're doing a lot of tethering. It's easy to get tangled going back and forth. Absolutely. If you saw my setup this morning, you'll see that I've got some little clips. They're brilliant. You can buy photography clips like this kind of thing off Amazon, off different places. They can be quite pricey, or you can go to good old Wilko's and buy something that they've got in the decorating department, and you're probably going to pay about £2 for those. So all of my old ones over the years have been replaced with Wilko's ones in about 3 or 4 different sizes. I don't work for Wilko's. I don't work on commission for Wilko's, but I do like a bargain, and I'm not paying for everything all the time. If you're in my world, you'll know I always like to find the cheapest way to do things, because in photography, people end up spending a fortune on stuff because they don't know what to buy. And I will always find the cheapest way possible to do it. Save you thousands. Cherry, my question is, when on site and you've got your pre-arranged schedule of dishes images, how do you manage that as you're here? Can you just, or my personal favorite, might as well do this one too as you're here. Despite my preamble about scheduling agreed number of dishes, it happens. Not every time, it's rare. I would say for me, it very rarely happens because I've got a spreadsheet in front of me with everything I'm doing. And if I don't think people really ask me that. I think if they ask me that, I would say I can shoot something else for you within the time I'm here, but it might compromise one of those shots that you really need. So I would just say to them, how important is this shot? Do you want to bump another one? Because we might not have time to do everything, or do you want to wait till the end? If I've got time at the end, it's very rare, isn't it? If I had time at the end, I would do it, but it doesn't really come up because we've discussed the worksheet, we've discussed everything that's happened for the day. And they know that they've got to think about what's for packaging, what's for social media, what's for website, and literally get them to pull everything out of their head. So I think they'd feel a bit cheeky asking me after all the deep dive I've done with them of everything. So hasn't come up, but I would say the answer to that is make sure you've got a list of everything, they've agreed everything. And if you can fit it in and they're paying premium prices, if these people are paying £1,500 for a day and you've got half an hour left at the end, there's nothing wrong with saying, right, we've got half an hour. Is there any fun stuff you want to do or anything? And that fun stuff is probably the stuff that you're going to use on your own social media because you'll get something not so formulaic. So I would never say no if I had the time, but it doesn't really come up. Sandy, the dreaded scope creep. But yeah, I've not had it, but then I'm very organized in my my sets. I build them. What I do as well with my reoccurring client that I was talking about, where I take everything to them, we talk colorways on every dish and everything that's going in. I then build the sets. So last week we did 4 main meals. I built the sets. I then video the 4, have them all on the floor of the studio, and I video each one and I talk them through everything I've got. So I've put a bowl on here and a plate. Have you got any preference to if you want this to go in a bowl or a plate? I've put chopsticks with this. Would you rather a fork? Are you happy with the colorways? And then I just video and send it to them. And that particular client, we've got a WhatsApp group and everything just gets pinged into there. Far too much gets pinged into there. And everything's visual, and they're coming back and saying, oh, I could really do with something to put the garlic bread on to go with that one. So there really aren't any surprises at all if you work that way. And it will help you as well. I hope that answers that, Cherry. Jude, do you use Capture One or Lightroom? Pros and cons of both. Monthly subscription or yearly subscription? I'll be honest, I'm in the process of starting out my journey as a photographer. I just have zero money and zero contracts. Everything is overwhelming. Right, let's break that down. I used to use Capture One because Lightroom didn't tether to Nikon. So I did used to use Capture One for that reason. Nikon can be a bit of a funny thing with Lightroom. I tether through Lightroom and take the pictures in Lightroom. I sort them, then I export them out, and I work in Photoshop on the individual images on my culled shortlist. So they go onto the laptop then, and that's how I work those ones. So for me, Lightroom is my vessel to take the pictures tethered, to sort the pictures, and then Photoshop is where I will do any little tweaks I need to do with the pictures. Monthly subscription or yearly? For me, I'm quite happy paying £10 a month. It really doesn't bother me. I don't want to have to start about, is it annual? Do I get the most up-to-date thing? Paying monthly, I know they update it as it goes along. So when anything else comes up, it updates it. I really don't notice £10 a month. So I don't care, pay monthly. If you do care, then go yearly and think about it that way. But for me, £10 is a coffee cake, a very large piece of cake. I'll be honest, I'm in the process of starting out. I have zero money and zero contacts. Everything just feels overwhelming. Same. I lost all my business in lockdown. I had no money coming in. I had no contacts, no money. There was nothing to spend on marketing. Just do the process, trust the process this week. Get yourself started with LinkedIn, build your connections, start to get yourself onto your social medias, get you out from behind that camera in front of it, let people see you. All the things I've talked about this week is not just textbook. This is all the things I've experienced and all the things that have took me to this point, to be running a successful, profitable food photography business as a premium food photographer. So I only have to be out 1 or 2 days a week maximum. Any more than that, I would just roll them on to another week. I don't want to do any more than that. Don't need to do any more than that. It will happen. And if it's overwhelming, write everything down and see what it is that's overwhelming you, or put it into the group, and see where you can start. Because if you're thinking photography, lighting, LinkedIn, pricing, it will. What's the first thing that you've got to do to get onto this road of happiness, to photograph your food better and to make more money? And if you ask yourself that question, just do a brain dump, put it all down, and then from there, look, give everything a score. 1 is really important, 2 is not so important, and start to score everything. Put all your 1s on a sheet, put all your 2s on a sheet, put all your 3s on a sheet. You are learning a new skill. You are out of your comfort zone. Being out of your comfort zone is scary, but it's what you need to do to grow. If you are never out of your comfort zone, you will never grow, and you will not achieve anything with this, with doing this, because you'll stay there and you'll talk to yourself like we did yesterday with the limiting beliefs. No one's going to want to pay that for my food. I'm charging enough. It's okay. I don't need any more than that. These are all things that we tell ourselves to keep ourselves in our comfort zones, and you are worth more than that. If you are here as a creative photographer wanting to earn money, you will have these money blocks. You are worth more than this. I promise you, you are worth more than this, and it will happen for you if you trust the process. Fiona, how many images do you take of one cake dish to give to the client? Depends what the brief is. Depends how many images we've got to shoot. So I think I told you last week I did 4 main meals, just about to deliver them to them at the moment. I've got to do one last cull, but I think I'm at 118 photos, because when we break down exactly what they want, they have a 45-degree shot, they have a flat lay shot. The flat lay shot is going on the front of the packet of the food. Then we do a lifestyle one with all other stuff in it. Then we do a fork in, and we do a fork in 45 degrees. By the time we've swapped in and out different napkins, I'm looking at the moment at roughly 20 to 25 for each dish, because that's what I can get out of it. 4 dishes, I know that doesn't add up to 118, and that's because halfway through they said, can we put all 4 of the dishes together and do like a table shot of them all together? So they had about another 15 of a table shot of all different things, with different people's forks and hands going in. So that's 118 shots for them to turn around in 5 working days. They can pay me more if they want it in 3 working days. I am more than happy to take more money from them. But at the moment, that's 5 working days. So I was with them last Thursday. They will get them by tonight. I'm almost there. So it just depends on the brief. And the biggest thing, like I've said this week, is you've got to listen to the brief, because the brief will be different. And sometimes I don't get what they're doing with the photos. I don't question it unless it's something with the creative, but especially if I've just started to work with a client, I sometimes don't get what they're doing. And then when I see it on the front of the packaging and realize they're cutting it out or they're doing something else with it, I get it. I've got a client that I was talking to you about that we did just 4 pies. 4 pies was all they need, or 6 pies. And it was only half a pie. It took us all day to get the perfect cut in the pie. I was loading in extra meat so it looked like it had dribbled out. It took us all day to just do that. There was no lifestyle shots, but all they wanted from me was 6 pies. So they got their 6 pies, but they didn't say, hold on a minute, we've just paid £1,500 and we want 100 pictures. They don't care about the 100 pictures because that wasn't the brief. The brief was, if you can get us 6 perfect pies to go on the front of the packaging, that's all we need. I've hit what they need, and they've had a day of my expertise to get there. They're not going to quibble about what it is, because it's not normally the person paying the bill that's doing the shoot. They just want the solution. I can't. Oh, yes. Problem, solution, transformation. Every time. Money then goes, the more you address their problem, create the solution, give them the transformation, the less it is about money. Fascinating, the psychology. I don't know who you are under Fiona. In your post, do you use Lightroom or Lightroom Classic? Lightroom Classic. Lightroom Classic is the one that tethers. Lightroom doesn't. Good point. I forgot to say to you, I'm really sorry. I've put this in the questions. On my Ask Me Anything email today, it said there was a guest expert at 11 o'clock tomorrow. There isn't. I'm really sorry. I hope I didn't confuse anyone. It was just in there. So I'm really sorry. There is no guest expert tomorrow. There was Jeff yesterday, the Academy panel today. Tomorrow, I'm going to let you finish off any of your photos that you want critiqued. Plus, we have the closing party with all the prizes. And tomorrow, I am going to announce to you about the competition. The competition is only open until the end of Sunday. So if you have took some really good pictures this week, or you've got some really good ideas, this competition is only open until close of play Sunday. It is being kept open for you. I have a video from the CEO telling you all about it. He's recorded a video just for you, bless him, to tell you all about the competition. So start thinking about, have you got any photos to enter the competition? I'll tell you about it more tomorrow, but it is not going to be a big money spend. Every photo that you enter costs £1. So that's it. $1.25. Is that right on the conversion? Everything costs £1. I'm going to tell you about it tomorrow, and I'm going to show you his video so he can tell you all about the competition. Anyone excited? More prizes, more things to do, more places to show your photos off for the chance to win prizes, accolades, everyone to tell you how amazing you are with your food photography. Come on, you must be excited. That's not tumbleweed, is it? It's a tumbleweed going past. Yes, Hal is excited. I'm excited. I can't even enter. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, got an itchy nose now. I lumped them all together. So I have just put a few questions about the Academy. Yes, it was lovely to speak to you today, finding out what normal people you are, what issues you have with food photography. The same things do come up with different people. Lots of excitement coming through now. People haven't got the confidence to either put themselves out there, or they haven't got the confidence to charge their worth. And those people that don't understand lighting or the technical side of food, and those that need to work on both sides, which is what the Academy is all about. So, yeah, it's been lovely hearing from you, but I do feel there's a running theme through it, which I get, which is why the Academy is there. So thank you. Anyone else wants to book the calls with me? The calls are going on all the way through till the end of the weekend. I have cleared my diary. I want to talk to you. And if there's anyone in here tonight, I'm not sure there is, please do put in there your thoughts, because you are not on that call with me for me to sell. It's not a timeshare. It's really for us both to decide if it's something that would work for both of us. If you came into the academy and it wasn't what you needed, it's going to be very hard on you. It's going to be very hard on me, and it's going to be very hard on the other academy members. We are a high vibe. The vibe is always high in the group, and it needs to be like-minded people that have that determination and want to succeed and want to make their money from their food photography in there. There is no point in having someone in there that is just saying, well, I've paid my money, so it's all going to come to me now. The universe does not work that way. I am sorry. I'm sorry, did you say which Lightroom you use? Lightroom Classic. Now I'm just having a look. Lightroom Classic. I was wondering then. Rachel, I've just made it official on all my social media that I'm doing food photography as well as brand. No going back. Yes. Laura, hi Emma. If you have chance to do the phone call, it's brilliant. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you, Laura. Louise said, is the payment a yearly membership? No. The payment is forever. You have the academy program forever. Anything that's added to it is forever. It's just that you're able to pay it back over 12 months. I take that risk because I know that for a lot of people and photographers that are not charging their worth, they don't have the annual commitment. So it's a monthly payment over 12 months. When you've done your 12 months, you stay there, and you've done your membership. Anita, can I speak to the academy members? Yes, absolutely. You can either put it into the link of where they were talking earlier, and tag anyone. If you've got anyone in particular that you felt you resonated with, just tag them in. If not, put it into the Ask Me Anything, and if they're not in or they're not seeing it, I'll ask them just to pop in and respond, because I don't want it to be me. I want it to be obviously totally them. Rachel, I'm having a mental block moment. What do you get differently from the normal Empower to the VIP? I will just show that visually in a minute, if that's all right, Rachel. I think I've got things coming in. That's actually a good deal. I think so. Thank you for the clarification. Now I have to switch to the Lightroom Classic. I'm not sure who you are. Tell me who you are. Kathy, I just messaged a couple of potential clients who were getting back to me, telling them I'm putting my prices up. Yeah, that is a really powerful one. When you say to people, my prices are going up, or I'm changing the way that I do business, suddenly they can book a retainer. Do you want to book with me before my prices go up? If so, you'd need to pay 25% up front, and then you can pay the balance just before they do it. Or if you can get the whole lot, you get the whole lot. Entirely up to you. It's always a good time around March, April, because March people are trying to finish spending the rest of their marketing budget, companies, and April onwards is the start of the new financial year, and they've got money to spend. So it really is, a great way to get in with people at this time of the year. They've got fresh new marketing budgets all for you. Facebook user, so I'm a food writer, jumping back into the fray and back taking my photos. Your class has been informative. Thank you. And re-energizing. I think that's still you. Put your name in so I know who you are. And creative. My editors are thrilled, and I sent you a personal email last night. Oh, have you? I'm really sorry. So many people in this group, it's a bit busy. I will get round to it. I'm so sorry. Donna, okay, sorry, Donna. I will get back to you if you sent me something. I do know that Sasha is taking the load off me at the moment, especially with all the ribbon today with the magazines. Why do you need friends as photographers when they're like that? They're not very funny. I'll tell you that. Sandy, 333 retainers. Well, yeah, you could. Is that what you mean? Split it into 3 for them to pay you in 3 months? I think that's what you mean. If you don't, tell me, because my mind might have gone cuckoo. Right. Okay. 3 hearts. 3 hearts. Do you mean 3 parts? 3 hearts? Now I'm getting confused. Okie dokie. Right. I will just go through those two options for you visually, because a lot of us in here are visual learners because we are photographers. So I'll just go through that for you, Rachel, before we get onto the photos. Not as many today, though. I thought this was quite a fun task and I was quite surprised. 3 hearts, 3 equals hearts. 3 equals hearts. As in happy. Did you talk about lighting? I'm sorry I joined a little late due to another class. Lighting, I'm not sure I talked about lighting. It'll probably come up in the critiques. Oh, it was 3 hearts. I love retainers. Yeah. Retainers are good because if something changes in their business, then they want to use you up before that change happens. So you're still going to get your money. If the business, something happens to the business, you still got a retainer for doing absolutely nothing. So either way, you've got a little bit of a safety blanket with retainers so that you can, so that you know they're going to be yours. I have an annual package, and my annual package is that if you buy 4 shoots in a year, you get 1 free, which works really well for me. I ask them for 25% of the year up front, and then they pay the difference each time they do it, which is something like 870. So it doesn't seem as bad, but they have to pay me the 25% up front. If not, they would get a cheaper shoot, and then they might disappear. So I know. Fiona, how much time do you need to put aside a day to be in the academy? Entirely up to you. The first 6 weeks, you have a live on a Monday to set the scene of what we're doing for the day, for the week. Whereas at the moment, you've got the live in the morning to get everything back in for 5 o'clock. So the live on Monday starts you off. You then have a week to do those tasks. There is also a Wednesday night critique. So you might not have took anything, but everyone seems to come along because they like the critiques and they want to see what people are doing and how it can help their own photos. So you might find on the first week, you get your first module on the Monday and you haven't got anything for Wednesday, but you're happy to watch everyone else. But you are ready 10 days later for the next critique. Also bear in mind, this membership is a portal. Like you're waiting for me for the task to drop at 6 a.m. on the day, you don't have that. You have access to all 10 modules. If you want to start them without me, that's absolutely fine. I tend to find most people prefer to wait for me because they don't want to get overwhelmed. But you can go into everything and start doing it. If you want to start module 1, we have another week before we get started on the live learning. What day did I say the live learning was? 8th, Monday 8th. Is that bank holiday? No, it can't be then. Tuesday. So it's a Tuesday. You can start it all on your own. You don't have to wait for me, but it's all there for you. It's not a wait for this to drop and then go. And over the 6 weeks, we see how we're doing. Then at the end of the 6 weeks, we say, right, where's everyone at? What do we want to do? And then we start to work in things with the groups. I tend to still do a live every other week. So you're going from doing something daily to doing something weekly to doing something fortnightly to doing something monthly. And I just think if you just had, that was it, and then it stops, you would stop. So it needs to be taken back a step for you to feel that you're thriving and you're getting where you need to get to. I hope that answers that. So you might find there's one week that you're working all week and you can't do much on it, but the next week you might do a little bit more. So the modules aren't going anywhere. Everything's there for you, and you can decide if we take a step back and do some other stuff or go forward again. Rachel, I think I took enough photos for everyone who didn't today. Lovely. Right. Okay. So, Rachel, in answer to your question, I will just say the difference. We really will then get onto the photos of... Is that showing? No. No, it is not showing. Oh, why is that not showing? It was doing something silly. Yeah. Okay. So I'll ignore the totally bespoke because that is a one-on-one thing. You've got Empower and you've got Empower VIP. So with both of them, you get 6 weeks support of live coaching. So you get the live on a Monday, you get the critique on a Wednesday night and any questions that you've got to ask. But really, you know, you're in the group. It's a very small group. You can ask anything in the group as well. You're in the Facebook group, and in the 6 weeks for both of them, you get all the feedback on all your images taken. They all go into the weekly critiques, and you get everything that you want in those critiques then. Then, if you are someone that doesn't need your photos critiquing, or you're having them critiqued by someone else, you might not want to continue having your photos critiqued. The Empower VIP is that you still get your photos critiqued for a whole year, and you have the opportunity to enter the monthly awards. And the monthly awards are where you win the bronze, the silver, and the gold pineapples that you are able to then post onto your images and put them onto social media. So it elevates how people see you. You start to get respected in the industry because you're winning things. And people don't know the difference of any photography awards of what you're winning. If you're putting in that you've won something, you start to build up confidence in those lurkers on LinkedIn that are looking at what you do. So that's the difference with the VIP. It obviously takes me quite a long time to continue to do all the monthly critiques and put everything forward for the awards. That's why it's the difference in price. You can enter the monthly critiques as an Empower, but you have to pay for them. And over the year, that works out more money than if you have the inclusive VIP. But it's just, again, you know, people are different. You all need different things. So you don't need, everyone doesn't all need the same thing. Becky, the Academy sounds fantastic, but I'm away for the most of May, so would miss the 6 weeks training. Would it open again later this year? I don't know. What I would say to you is everything that's in there, like this group, is there for you. We don't start till the 9th. We've got bank holidays in there. We'll be doing some juggling around with May anyway. Sorry, what are you doing? Sorry, cats are knocking things over. So I would say you'll be able to catch up and you'll be able to get some time with me in there to be able to do everything. It's just up to you how determined, how motivated you are to do it now, because it's got to be right for you. Or it makes it hard for me and you. Fiona, thank you. I love to hear the word fortnight, not a word we use here in the States. I love to hear the British speak. What do you say for fortnight then? Fortnight. It's a good word, isn't it? It's a good word. And also just to remind you, like the Academy members said today, whichever package you're in, you get the LinkedIn Booster Traction group. You get to post your link for your LinkedIn, what's it called? Post. My brain's going. In there. And all the other Academy members that are posting that day will lift you up. And even if you go, oh, my post's a bit rubbish, they will find all the things to love about it and make you feel amazing. Week, I believe, is the equivalent. Oh, a fortnight. I don't know. Now I need to go and Google everything about the States speak. Also, just to say, it's $84 a month for the Empower, $99 a month for the VIP. For 12 payments, then everything then is not to do with it. You've bought it then. It is not a membership that carries on forever and ever. It is just the 12 months payment. 2 weeks equals a fortnight is 2 weeks. Yeah, a fortnight is 2 weeks. And I have put the dollars in there. It is payment in pounds, but I know that when I talk in pounds, you lovely Americans say to me, what's that in dollars? So the prices are in there as dollars, but you are paying in pounds, which I think probably works better for you as the dollar is stronger than the pound at the moment. Grr. Okay, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, splendid. 2 weeks, splendid. Now you sound British. Okay, so on to today's task. I love this, and I love this for two really good reasons. Here is it gives me creativity to think about something that I want to photograph, because sometimes I just think, oh, what am I going to post about? And now that I'm starting to repeat the national, international days and months, it's starting to get a bit easier. I know when things are coming up, I know what I'm doing. So it's really nice when that happens. So, oh, that is not good. Sorry, I just tried to get rid of that banner. So it does challenge you. And if you've made the commitment already on how many times have you decided that you are going to post, then you've got to find the content. And like I said to you, it took me a while to do the research on, I know that cake or a pretty photo sells really well. And unfortunately, a picture with me in sells really well. Doesn't even have to be a staged picture. If I've took something on my phone, I've got one in this week, photographing in a storeroom. I photograph in the most luxurious places. That goes down well. Everything goes whoosh when those two are on. When I talk about national and international days, especially on LinkedIn, people sometimes like to hear about the history of the national days, especially if you've got food writers and historians and people like that that are following you. They like to know a lot about all the different things. So it depends who's following you as to how you write the post to go with this. But let's get on. Let's get on. Right. Yesterday, Oksana put this one in, and it was just after the cutoff, so I had not seen it. Beautiful, lovely, crisp and sharp here. Look at those there. They're absolutely lovely. This cake stand, I could do with one of those. I think it's lovely. The colours are brilliant. Just two very little things here because I really like this cake. Is bring it off background, come forward a bit so that background blurs. I can see that background so well now. I know that is a black velvet background because I can see every bit of detail in it. I don't want that much detail in it. And also this shiny vase is as big and bright as the hero. So what I would do in post-production with that is just take the colour out of it. I can't do it in this program, it's just to show the photos, but just to make that so it's not as big and bright, as bold as the cake, because the cake is absolutely beautiful and it is a stunning, stunning shot, but just a couple of little observations there. Oh, it's all kicking off while I'm there. I also picked up your Savvy Food Photography Diary. It has helped me with my social media branding and posting. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's supposed to help. It's supposed to help. If anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a shameless plug at the end for that one. It's beautiful. It's stunning. Cake looks amazing. Stunning. Yeah. I saw the cake stand like this in TK Maxx. Did you buy it? Or did you just see it? I've seen things like this and I'm always thinking, should I buy something like that? Beautiful image of cake. Black velvet, safe. Black velvet, my fave. Safe, yes, it's called Safe. That's right, absolutely. But because we're that close to it, we can see that is black velvet's background and it's called Safe. If we bring it forward a bit and blur it, it just makes it more subtle. Hal, I've been trying to find one like that for a while. TK Maxx. Oh my God, there's going to be a rush on TK Maxx tomorrow. Yesterday, this is with huge apologies. I upset Laura. Laura's photo was in there at the correct time. And out of her 3, this was the best one. Absolutely stunning. She's moved the cake round. For those of you that saw it yesterday, the doily is straighter on this one. The strawberries are beautiful. The raspberries, everything looks great. Again, for you, Laura, take it off the background, especially as you have creases in your background. You could take those out in post-production if you want to, but if you bring that forward, it would blur it and you wouldn't see the creases in it. It's absolutely chucking it down now. Can you hear it on the roof? I couldn't make my mind up. Now I have. Quick, Christine, TK Maxx could still be open. Go get it. Rachel was in there yesterday. Oh, loads of goodies. Absolutely. And then we have, I'm going to remember your name, Ursula. Ursula, I think that you have just took these out of the oven. They look absolutely delicious. I'm not sure if they're croissants or if they're pastries with something in the middle. That one looked a bit crescent-like, but I don't think they are actually. So these are absolutely beautiful, and I can see you've took them out and you photographed them. What I would suggest you do, because the baking paper is really good, is just to put it on a fresh piece of baking paper. You can put it on a cooling tray so that people can see they're freshly out the oven and we're creating the story. At the moment, it just looks a little bit messy because you've took them out and you photographed them as they are. So just to clean that up a bit. Hi, does your course guarantee income for new food photographers, events, PR, network connections? Nothing is guaranteed, because you could come into my academy and you could pay your money and then you could sit there on your bum and do absolutely nothing and then say to me, nothing's happening for me. And that's not down to me. If I'm giving you all the tools each week and I'm checking in with you Monday to Friday, I can give you the motivation, I can give you the inspiration, I can give you the tips, I can give you anything, but I can't guarantee your income, because that's down to how determined and how motivated you are to go out there and do this. And you get to decide your prices. Everyone in the academy is slightly different, but they're not selling for peanuts. But you all get to sell, you know, I'm in the southeast of England near London. I do jobs in London. That might not be the same for someone living in Scotland. So I can't guarantee that. That's entirely down to how you're doing. That's probably not what you want to hear, is it? But if I could do the shoot for you and get the money and get your money back for the course, I would. I promise I would. But, you know, if you started off with half price shoots at $750, in a year, you've got to do 2 shoots to make your money back in just one. Once you've done 2 shoots at that price, or if you don't feel like charging that at the moment and you wanted to do 4 shoots in a year, you have to say to yourself, is it doable for me to charge £400 and do 4 shoots in a year to get my money back? I think that's way too cheap. But obviously, if you're worried about the investment, I would never, ever say do it, because it's down to you of what you're pricing. Does that make sense? Laura, thanks for showing my image and you didn't upset me at all. You're far too lovely for that. I completely agree with your comments. Lovely. Rachel, nothing is ever guaranteed. You just have to follow the steps Emma will give you and put in the work. And again, speak to some of the academy members as to how they're doing. You don't have to speak to me, because you might not feel, you might not trust me. You might not feel that I would give you everything. Speak to the people that are paying me money. I'm not paying them money. Speak to the people that are paying me money and achieving great things as to what they think. And I said to them today, before we came onto the academy panel, nothing is off limits. There is nothing that if they ask you that you say, oh, I don't know if Emma would like that. I said the whole point of the panel is being open and honest for them to discuss where their food photography journey has taken them. Well, there was no point in doing it. It would have been staged. Do you offer a critique only service? I do, but it's significantly more expensive if you're not in the academy than doing it in the academy. Like everything, what you put in, you get out. Absolutely, ebb and flow. So moving on from Ursula's, we have the food industry. So on to Stacey's. Stacey's Egg Month. Very cute, very nice. The one thing I would say to you all collectively is did you think about everything in your shop when you did it? Did you think about the words? Did you think about the lighting? Because I feel collectively today, the lighting has suffered a little bit by doing a fun shop. I'm not saying that with everyone, but I'm saying collectively, I feel that we could have had a little bit more in there. But love your eggs. Smiley face is okay. But I actually like the eggs and could have just had a couple of eggs on the side with it. But really like how you've put the blue together, and it's contrasting colours again. So well done. Also, Stacey put in Gummy Bear Day. So which I thought was really nice. And again, I can see the side light here because we've got this beautiful soft shadow coming in here. And you've got the little salt thing that you've put that in. So I think that's really sweet. But really nice. I think we could do something a bit more interesting going forward, but it's a sweet shop. On to Karen. Karen keeps beating herself up. Karen, stop beating yourself up. You're doing a great job. So don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. What was I going to say about this? I love your gin and tonic. I like the control of the sharp glass and the rosemary and the peach and the raspberry. However, I feel if this was for a gin and tonic shot, we wouldn't necessarily know it's a gin and tonic because it's been taken straight over the top as a flat lay. And you're probably going, but you told me to do a flat lay today. So I would think that this shot would be better at eye level or 45 degrees, so we get everything in there. But I'm not sure if this is on a camera because it is so sharp with that background, or if that's a background a little bit further away. This says to me it's a camera portrait mode, but it might not be actually because we've got such control around the end of the rosemary. So beautiful, beautiful picture. Love it. And I think if you're accompanying this with World Gin Day, people will understand what it is. But if I'm just looking at the picture, I wouldn't necessarily know it was a G&T. I'd like to drink it, I wouldn't know what it was. Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent. Most of the people you saw today are still active. Of the successful, how many current active successful clients you have work as, of course, completed photographers? People jump in and out. Most of the ones you saw today are the ones that started in January. They are the newest people that have finished their 6 weeks and they are still going through the modules. We've done 6, we've just started the 7th module, and they've already had jobs, they've already had offers, and they've already earned money from what they're doing. And we haven't actually finished all the modules, but we finished the business modules, which means they've been able to go out there and earn some money, because that was the first thing that I wanted to do, get people out there earning money. So hard to find eggs in the shop this week, is it? What's happening with the eggs this week? It appears as if the market is saturated with food photographers, speaking as a foodie photographer hobbyist. Possibly because you're following them to see what they're doing. I find that clients find it very difficult to find a foodie photographer, and a lot of them will end up going to the agencies if you don't put yourself out there. But there are people out there that are doing food photography, that are food bloggers, food writers, food whatever they are, bloggers, that are not the people that are going to be hired to go out to a company and do the photos on front of their packaging. But again, let's talk that through a mindset. Why is the market saturated with food photographers? Is that because you're interested in food photography, so you noticed every feed that comes up, everyone's feed that comes up? Are you following lots of food photographers and food bloggers and food writers, so that when you're scrolling through your feed, everything comes up as food? Therefore, your perception is that there's a lot of food photographers out there because you're following all of them. If you are a company looking for a food photographer and you're not following any food photographers, what you need to be thinking is, how are those people going to find me? I might not be right there, and if you're not following these people, that's absolutely fine. I'm following lots of people. So, but I know that the market isn't saturated, or I wouldn't still be getting so many inquiries to photograph people's food. They can't be. And a lot of these companies don't want to give a huge percentage to agencies. They just don't want to do it. They'd rather pay a little bit less and it goes straight to the photographer. Yes, great shot. Would you say the light settings have to change when doing an overlay? Yeah, all light is king. Light is king. If you don't want any shadow in your picture, light from a top. I like shadow in my pictures. So yeah, absolutely. You know, light where you want. If you want a harsh shadow, a harsher shadow, light from the side. If you want a subtle back light coming in, then light from the back. I'd already answered that one. So when you're putting every shot together, you're thinking about, does it need to be eye level? Does it need to be 45 degree? Does it need to be flat lay? Where is my light coming in from? Where is my shadow coming in from? How much depth of field have I got? What's my composition? Am I putting a napkin in? Am I putting cutlery in? Am I putting any plates in? And you will honestly get to the point where you go, when you do it, you will just start to pick things up, and you will do it because you're practicing and you're practicing and you're practicing. And you'll start to put the colors together. And if you're not picking your camera up that much, that part of setting up the shot is going to take ages, and you're just going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to do any more of this. But you have to work through that, and you have to start photographing more so that it becomes second nature of, or have a checklist of everything you're doing. Got one of those. I've got a compositional checklist. I've got everything that you need to put in. So, you know, work out everything that's got to go into the picture. Laura, that was lighting. Stacey, you're welcome. Love your eggs. Love the colours. Looks delicious and thirst quenching as an alcoholic beverage. Yeah, I opened that bottle of wine last night, which means I'm probably going to finish it tonight because it'll go off, won't it, if I don't drink it. When does the offer on the Academy end? Close of play midnight Sunday. At the same time the group closes. Oh my God, what am I going to do without you all? Stay, I'll work for free. No, I can't. I get told off by my mentors going, oi, it's not a hobby. Yes, it is. Right, moving on. Okay, on to Tom, who's done Cinco de Mayo Day. I feel like, again, I need the maracas tonight. Tom, your setup is beautiful. You haven't got any shine on this knife, which I like. I notice these things. The setup all looks great. The one thing that is standing out on this picture is that you have got an artificial light right over the top of it that is changing the color of the food. And that artificial light is just, I don't know whether you have upped the saturation as well, but that artificial light is too harsh for the picture. It needs to be a little bit softer. Then all the colors would be calmer, and it would give you a much more rounded shot. So beautiful setup, just a little harsh on the light. Becky, sorry, quick question. When will this group close? I closed the group down on Monday morning. So you've got the weekend to do everything here. David, do you think iPhone photos taken by clients instead of using a pro food photographer is an issue? And how would you overcome it? You can tell the difference. You can, on your LinkedIn posts, you can educate your clients between a phone and a camera. Every so often, I do a phone and a camera shot and show how I can get those beautiful shadows with my camera that you just can't get with a phone. Or something like the clarity, the hairs on the strawberries. You all the time need to educate your clients without alienating them. So posting a before and after, posting a natural light and artificial light, posting a phone photo and a camera are all the ways that you educate them. These lurkers following you on LinkedIn are your next clients. So by the time they come to you, they're qualified. They know what you like. They know what you don't. They're not going to say, can't I just take it on my iPhone? They are going to believe that they know everything about you. And they do. They think they know everything about you because you've educated them and you've talked to them about the way you work. Does our VIP group close too? Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't. You guys are like, bing, 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 bing. I'm like, I can't do that forever, can I? Can I? Mentors, can I? No, I'm being told no. I don't know why. They're not there. It's just imaginary. Yeah, don't talk about closing the group at the moment. But yeah, if anyone is struggling to catch up and still wants to buy the VIP, they get all the task videos and they get the guest expert videos, and you get the booklets. So if you still are going, I can't get it all done, and I really want this information, it's really useful, then you can still buy the VIP to get access to that forever. That wasn't really where I was going. That is not meant in any way as a, hey, buy it. It's just, I know some of you are panicking that you're not going to get done by the end of Sunday. And that was just a solution. Sorry, that sounded a little bit like, hey, buy. It wasn't meant to. Fiona, we'll really miss the VIP group. Everyone is so encouraging. Yeah. But if you saw, Fiona, the Academy members earlier, you will see that that's just the way we work. It all has to be about encouraging each other. Tom, sorry, yes. I hope that's okay. Tom, tell me what the light is here that you're using. Is it a kitchen light that you've got above it? I'd just really like to know what it is. Oh, thank you, Clive. Let me know if you can. I sometimes can't work it out. I know that there's something. Because there's no because there's harsh shadow, I can't really tell. Oh, it's a flash. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And I presume you didn't diffuse the flash at all. So yeah. Okay, I'm moving on. Sorry. Rachel put 4 in today, which is lovely. Where was the flash, you're being asked? The flash looked like it was on the side. Did you have the flash on remote, or did you have it on top of the camera? It didn't look like it was on top of the camera, but it might have been. You might have bounced it. This one, I love how you've got this together, and I know how difficult it is to get this shot because I've always been balancing eggs onto forks. I think with this one, you could make this. I probably can't do much with it in here. I think this shot could be moodier. I just think that the blue, I can't do much with it in here. I'm really sorry. But I just feel it could have a little bit more to it, and make it, I don't know, it just feels like it needs a little bit more mood to it somehow, Rachel. I like the shot as it is. I just think a little bit more dramatic lighting may have just lifted it up. Sorry, just put that back to the original. But not that I don't like the shot. I just want a little bit more with the lighting. That's it. Over the top, but not on camera. It didn't look like it was on camera. You do have a darker version. Is that in here? I'm not sure. Then on to your milk bottle. Sorry, I'm just reading what's coming up and must not be distracted. Oh, these cookies look brilliant. Everything in the background looks brilliant. It works really well with what you've got. So I love everything in this shot. Just be careful with finger marks. Get your glass cleaner on here. And if you want to, you can take out the bounce light. You just need to get a bit of black card just to stop any of those reflections. But beautiful image, this one, beautiful. But I prefer this one. I prefer the darkness in that one. It just feels richer to me. That one looks more child friendly. That one looks more grown up. And that beautiful basket that you use, I think we're coming round to yours to nick that basket, Rachel, because that is absolutely brilliant. But love these milk shots. They're absolutely brilliant. And then we got your pouring shot. And I can see the light coming in here. I've got the shadow, and you've just got that beautiful pour from the milk. And there is nothing wrong with this shot. I like it. I just think that's more interesting. That is just milk. If you'd have put something in the background or the cookies in the background and told a bit more of the story, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I just much prefer that from you today. I think your styling is lovely, and it's just has more focus points of interest for me than that one. Is that all right? I'm not going to make you cry tonight. I did not make Rachel cry. I prefer the darker one, and the basket was my TK Maxx buy. Yeah, lovely. See, lovely. On to Wendy. Wendy didn't have time to make one today, so she has put in her. Oh, what did I say? Wendy. Oh, Rachel, yours was World Milk Day. Wendy was National Mint Choc Chip Day, which I love. I think this one is absolutely better. Brilliant, sorry. Love the level of detail in here. Look at the bubbles. We can see all of the bubbles. The cutlery is matte. We're not getting too much. That might be a soft box in there, but I'm going to skim over that. But also, by scattering that chocolate in there, it stopped any of them showing. So you've got the light there, but really the chocolate has took a lot out of that. So I really like this shot. If I'm being super, super picky, but I really like the picture, I would have just moved the leaves front side up and front side up. That's it. Honestly, that's it. Okay. On to Eula. Egg day or egg month or whatever eggy day it is. Beautiful composition here, beautifully set up. The styling is absolutely lovely. And Eula, I can see your food photography style coming through with all these subtle tones that you use. Don't lose those subtle tones if you're photographing for yourself, because it's an art form, and some people can't get that art form of being able to do very subtle colors and put very subtle colors together. So it is beautiful on the colors. The side that I would just say is a slight correction is that for me, this feels like it's the hero, but because my eyes are here, my eyes go up to this bit. You might be telling me this is your hero, but I'm a little bit confused as to which one is the hero, because this feels a little bit low down for me. And I think it's just that the angle of the camera is just slightly out, that we've got that looking like it's pinned to a board thing rather than looking at it from the side. So for me, it's just a slight camera angle and just establishing which is the hero. But as looking back at the shot and seeing it in its entirety, it's absolutely beautiful. And your subtle colours are absolutely amazing. So well done. Yeah. On to, oh, that's Fiona's Pineapple Day. Oh, I've just realised what I've done. I'm just going to stop sharing the screen for a minute, because I've realised that I've took some out for the golden pineapples and actually taken them out and not actually done anything else with them. That was a bit silly. Right, done it. Just didn't want to spoil the suspense, people. back to Fiona's pineapple. Okay. Multitasking. Okay, Fiona's pineapple. It is fun. Adrian, sorry, need to leave. Very long day. We'll watch the rest on catch up. No problem. Eula, I lighted the quail's eggs in post, maybe too much. No, I like the colours of it. No, I like the colours of it. I think it's nice. I've learned so much. Emma, you're amazing. You can say that to me any day of the week. That's absolutely fine. Thank you. Yeah, pineapple, absolutely fun shot. I can see this on any social. Instagram, especially for this one, it's like, bam, love this. I've just noticed the smiley pineapple there. I hadn't seen that either. So a really fun shot, great flat lay. It does the job and it's going to make people smile for the day. And sometimes that's all it is. You know, our most bestest photos may not make it to social media, but this kind of thing is the thing that people will stop and have a little chuckle about. So well done, Fiona. On to Kathy. Kathy, beautiful Chinese New Year. I think you've done an absolutely cracking job with this. I love the plate on a plate. I love the red chopsticks that work with the red over here and the chilies. The subtle theme of the colours is absolutely beautiful. So well done on this shot. It's absolutely beautiful. My one little correction would be, I would have just put a fill card here, or bounced a little bit of light back in here. I love the light here, but because the soy sauce is very dark, just to fill a slight bit in here would be perfect. So well done on this one, beautiful. On to Oksana with National Salsa Day. Oksana looks lovely. Loving the prawns. Looks brilliant. Very clear, very crisp. You're welcome, Kathy. Anyone in the academy at the moment will be coming over to nick those black plates. They've got this obsession with black plates. Two very simple things for me, I would say here, because I do like it, it's beautiful, is this fork is very dominating in the middle of the shot. It's a leading line, and at the end of the leading line, I feel there isn't anything of interest at the end of that leading line. I possibly would have turned it the other way round and had the fork there. Hello. I don't know what happened. I was talking. I was talking about Oksana. Are you all there? Are you back? I was talking about Oksana. Came to see if there was any comments, and it said something's happened. Please try again. It's like, oh my God, where's everyone gone? Oh, you are still here. That's all right. Phew. It says that you're all still here. Oh my goodness. Right. So, did you hear my critique of Oksana's? The cat's pulled the plug. Did you pull the plug? Oh, they're just watching the rain, bless them. I will just very quickly, I said about the fork. Okay. Fork twisted round that way would just get rid of that leading line. The last thing I said was, for me, it feels slightly oversaturated. The colours of the prawns and the things in here, the greenery is okay and can take that colour in the red, but the yellows and the prawns just look a slightly oversaturated colour. Oh, it's going to make me share the screen again. Oh, well done for that. I could have been carrying on doing that forever. Right, I really will move on. So slightly oversaturated. Really sorry, Oksana, that was terrible for you that you've just had to have everything go on there. Can you see the image? Are we screen sharing? Is everything back? It looks like it. Okay, on to Stephanie's national, oh sorry, Oksana's was National Salsa Day. Stephanie's is National Pepper Month. I like the simplicity of this. You have to sometimes say there are things that are not going to be award winning, but there are things that make me laugh and things that are clever and things that I like. So that's the difference. And this is one of those shots that I really like. It's very simple. It's been put together on a lovely background. This could be Facebook, but I feel with this shot, it's not very sharp. That's the only thing. When you've got something so big, bright and bold, it's not looking very sharp to me. And that might be a Facebook thing, but that's what I'm getting from this one, Stephanie. But really well put together. So well done. Liz, National Garlic Day. Liz, I love how you've set this out on the wood and you've got all of the leaves around it. And then we've got our garlic entwined, and it could be a really nice screensaver or something that someone puts behind them. What I would say is, if this was for National Garlic Day, the garlic is getting a little bit lost because the greenery is bigger, brighter, bolder. And so the greenery feels like the hero and the garlic is the supporting cast. As a picture, it's beautiful. As a promoting the garlic, it's just getting a little bit lost. I hope that makes sense. But I do like the picture. Daniel, you found this really hard today, but you still came out with a killer Nutella. Your red plates are fantastic. They bring out the colors. You've really worked with the colors from the Nutella and everything works very well. Now, the greenery is garlic too, is it? Right. I just feel looking at the garlic, the white garlic, I can't really see it. So sorry, personal opinion. That's just me as a critiquer. What was I going to say about this? Now I know, Daniel, you were struggling because you didn't have a tripod. So this is where we get that thing where it looks like it's sliding down the wall a little bit. So once you get your camera angle right over the top of a flat lay, it starts to look like it's just flat. So for me, it's just a camera angle thing, but I think you set that up really well. For someone that is just starting out with food photography this week, you've set that out really well. So keep going. And if you love it, buy yourself a tripod to go over the top. A food staple in our house, yeah. On to Clive. Biscuit Day, National Biscuit Day. I really like this background. I think it's because it's my logo color. That was me. I was sort of drawn to it. I really like how you've used the Scrabble pieces to spell out what it is. Sometimes a picture speaks 1,000 words, but when we actually put some words into it, it's even better. So I do like this. It's a fun image. Again, it's not an award-winning image, but it's a fun image. For me personally, I'm not so keen about the string around it. I find the string very dominating. I think you could have potentially got rid of these two biscuits and the string, and that would have been enough as a picture. But again, I am telling you my personal opinion. You may feel different. Daniel, shopping straight after. Oh, he has took a sneaky nibble out of that top biscuit, but I like the crummage. I do like the crummage in a picture because it makes it feel real. Whereas if there wasn't any crumbs and he bit it and licked off all the crumbs as well, it wouldn't feel real. So I like it. It's a fun picture. Bugger less is more. Laura, on to British Cheese Day. You've set up a really nice shot here. I feel like I am in the country. I love that little tartan blanket at the end. Love all the interesting different crackers that you've got and the grapes, and on the background you've got it. It's a really good shot with everything in there. Just a couple of little things, and they are little. You're slightly out with your angles, so it doesn't feel like it's a flat lay. It just feels like it's tilted slightly. So just be careful with your angle. And I'm not sure where your focus points were, but for some reason, this cheese is out of focus, but the things around it are in focus. So I'm not really sure whether you've put some photos together or not. I don't know. But I couldn't really understand why the cheese was out of focus, but everything else was sharp. But you'll be able to tell us, I'm sure. We said that, but we think it was the cheese. Just having a look at it there. Yeah, it's really strange, isn't it? I don't know. That's what I cleaned. You're going to have to go and have a look at that cheese unless you've eaten it. You've probably eaten it all now. It was a very weird cheese. What was it? I've not seen that before. Almost like it's got truffle in or something. I don't know. It's very hard to tell, but lovely shot. Love it with the blanket in. The colours work really well together. Sharon, National Tomato Day. Love the tomatoes when they're on the vine. They look absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Very vibrant colours here. Works really well with the wood. So yeah, very nice. And even the colour of, I don't know whether this is a grey kind of tea towel, works works really well. Just a couple of very small things. I feel that this one could have been tucked behind the tomatoes instead of cutting off these little ones here, because they are bigger, brighter, bolder. And then we've got the line going through them. So just tuck those underneath. And personally, to be really picky, I would have liked to have seen all the little pips in this tomato. And sometimes you cut a tomato open and you don't really know what it's going to be like inside. But I like it where we can see all that detail with the pips. But really nice, really vibrant, really lovely. So well done to Sharon. Christine, you put your blueberries in for National Blueberry Day. Love this. Can I nick that? And can I nick that? And can I nick that? And it was funny because I looked at this picture and went, it looks a bit like it's sliding. I love the meringue. And I wasn't quite sure what it was. And then you put that in and I went, that's what it was. It didn't look right that way around. And I'm not quite sure if it does on that picture, but I think that instead of, oh, sorry guys, got to go around again. Instead of having it like that, where it looked like it was fallen, when you reshot it like that and you got your angle absolutely right, crushed up the meringue, then it looks good. So much prefer this one to that one. So well done. That one is better. Cherry, onto your churros or churro. I don't know. You guys can probably say it better than me. I like this. The churros are there. The sauce is there. We've got 2 different sauces. And it's on the slate, on another piece of slate. Everything kind of sits together there. We've got the serviettes on this side. Sorry, just need some water. So for me, because everything's precise, I personally would have liked this side to be precise, because the whole picture is the slate, the rectangle, the other rectangle, this here. This to me just felt like that should sit flush with the line of where the churros are. And then OCD wise, that shot would fit together. If there was random stuff in the background on the slate, I could sort of see why that would not be lined up. But because everything is so precise, it feels almost quite Japanese in its preciseness, that for me, I would just like that to sit flush to there, and it would feel better. And I'm sure you were probably trying to line it up somewhere there. But my OCD is a little bit triggered on that bit there. But this is food photography, guys, you know, because everything is so close up with food photography, you notice the little thing. And you know, when I laugh about the fact that I can change a fork position 15 times, I can, because it's millimeters out, and I'm like, nope, 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 still nope, still no. And eventually I get there, and I get a bit cross with myself that I'm doing it. But eventually when I see the shot, I'm like, yeah, got it. And that's what happens. So this is a lovely shot, but what would make it absolutely great is just the left-hand side. Christine, it was one of those things when tethering and the photo isn't the same way around. Yeah, my Lightroom, well, you saw that this morning. My Lightroom just sometimes swaps position, and then you can't see which way up it is, and you're like, love this, Cherry. Yeah, love. Have you got a window open or a door? I can hear the birds. No, you are. I've got a cat sitting in the doorway. Is it bothering you? Do you want me to close it? But yeah, the birds are having a lovely sing-song out there, and the rain's coming down. Can you hear the rain as well? Do you ever measure it to get it perfect? No, not for this kind of shot. I do measure it if I'm photographing something at the same point. So last week when I was doing smoothies, they had to be in exactly the same point, and I had an X that I'd put down and measured that and made sure that was in the right place, because it had to be exactly the same for every shot because they were going on packaging. So yes, for that I had to be very precise. It's not bothering you. I think the birds have stopped now. No, they're still there. I'm just hearing it all the time. There we go. Right. So the moment of truth. After tonight, if you have not got a golden pineapple, you have one more night for the golden pineapples. I'm so sorry if I upset some of you if you don't get a golden pineapple, but if I give the golden pineapple to everyone, it is going to lose its golden pineapple-ishness. I don't know. Let's just go with that. So first golden pineapple tonight is Oksana's beautiful cake. I love all the sharpness in this one. It's an absolute beautiful cake with only a slight correction with the background, but absolutely beautiful. So well done, Oksana, for that one. Next one, Laura's beautiful cake. The colors, everything works really well. And again, same as Oksana, for both of you, bring it off that background a little bit. That's the only thing that I would like to change with these two pictures. So well done, you two, for your golden pineapples. On to today, we have Wendy's mint choc chip, absolutely beautiful. If all I can fault is a couple of leaves being the wrong way, that is pretty good. Facebook, you is that Oksana? Did you bake that cake? Oh, I've got to look at it now. Oh, Oksana, that is, I thought you must have bought that. Oh my goodness. Right, you're coming round here, you're baking me a cake. Well done to Wendy. That one, absolutely brilliant. On to Hal. Hal is National Blueberry Day. I didn't show this one before, and this is what I've realized, that some of them I put into the golden pineapples and they weren't there. So I'm so sorry. The color palette for this, Hal, is fantastic. The purple hue, the out of focus blueberries, the blueberries at the front where they should be in focus, the purple straws, very simple, but very well thought out. So really love this. You have raised your game, and this one is beautiful. So well done. Last one for tonight is Kathy's. Kathy's beautiful Japanese, Chinese inspired, absolutely beautiful. Love the color palette. Loved how you put the colors together. And as I said with this one, just a little bit of bounce light, and that was all that was needed. So well done tonight. As I say, I'm sorry if I disappoint some people, but I feel if I give out too many, it's going to lose the impact of that. And sorry, Hal, I realized afterwards that I was going through and went, it's not there. when I copy them down to the golden pineapples, they don't always show. So well done, everyone. Your golden pineapple is pinned to the top of the Facebook group. But you guys are raising your game. The question I'm going to ask you is, do you still feel the same about photos that you put in at the beginning of the week or that you've taken to how you feel about them now? You might feel the same about them. It might be exactly the same. Or do you see different things? Are different things starting to pop out in your photos that you see? It would just be nice to know if you're viewing your photos. Oh, and are you now critiquing other people's photos as they're coming up? Are you going, oh, well, Is that what you're doing? It's really nice to know. Those in the academy say that I'm in their head. When they're taking a picture, they can hear me with corrections, and it makes them just go, oh, yeah, right, must do that. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, or if they're just hearing voices. I'm not really sure. Well done. You're getting your confidence back, Eula. Yay! Da, 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 da. Still need those maracas. Da, 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 da. That is fantastic. And remember, if you didn't get a golden pineapple, it's not that your photo wasn't good. All of these photos can go on to all the places you're doing and people are not going to notice. I am raising you into higher beings. You're going to be like aliens soon. Becky, you're totally looking at it differently now. That's brilliant. Clive, you're noticing new things. Absolutely stunning. I take it that's not me. That must be the food. Clive, I'm noticing different things in mine and other images. Kathy, my photos kind of go off. I'm growing so quickly at the moment. Oh, Kathy, I totally get that. When I look at pictures from last year, I go, because the more you grow, the more you learn, the more you change your style, or you can adapt your style and work in different ways. You go back and you go, oh my goodness, that's what I was doing last year. And you'll be doing the same next year because you keep growing of how you're taking the photos. Facebook youth, I think that's still Oxana. Taking on board all comments, even ones from a couple of weeks ago look naff now. Not naff, just different, but you've just opened up your mind of how you're working. That's all. Do not beat yourself up about what's in the past. Just look about how determined, how motivated, how inspired you are to go forward. And that's when you get to that magical place where magical things happen. Yes, I too look at the viewpoint much differently. Daniel, I'm taking on board everything said by Emma and getting so much inspiration from everyone else's pictures. And Daniel, your first week of food photography and you're nailing it, you know, and think where that will take you. Oh, I forgot, didn't I? Shameless plug. If anyone wanted to see, this is what the guys in the VIP got today. I sent them the overview of May, of all the dates that are coming up. For each month, it tells you every date that is coming up. And then on every day of the diary, opposite side, it tells you all the things that are happening on that day. So you can plan ahead your social media with all of the national events. And the reason I did that was because I struggled to post to social media 5 times a week. That's my non-negotiable. I post 5 times a week and I needed something. And now that gets carried around with me everywhere I go so that I can, 1, write in it and 2, put the dates in. So sorry, sounds like a shameless plug, but it's really useful. Your voice is in my head as I'm photographing emotion, light, shadows, composition. It happens. And honestly, my mentor is in my head. And I know when I've done something wrong, it's like he's going to spot it. And sometimes I put it in and go, what's he going to think? He spots it. He spots it. And then goes, what have you just done that for? Yeah. But most of the time, once you start to be critiqued on a monthly basis, I've now been critiqued on a monthly basis for about 3 years. Once you start to get critiqued, you will start to correct your work a lot easier. It's not always nice to be critiqued. You're going to have good months and you're going to have bad months. And as Phil said earlier on in the academy, he puts into the monthly critiques for the master photographers. And to start with, he was getting nothing. He was just getting a lot of, this is what you need to do. And then the last few months, he's been getting a highly commended rosette every month. So it just shows that he's at that position now where it's working for him. So it does happen. It just doesn't happen tomorrow. And those of you that have heard me say before, obviously I changed genres in lockdown when all the restaurants and cafes were closed. It took me 8 months to get my first inquiry. And that was tough. So it's not going to happen today or tomorrow, but it will happen. You've just got to decide if you're in it for the long haul and you want to do it. And that's down to you. Over to you. Any other questions, or are we done and everyone wants to go and eat their dinner? I'm just thinking what I've got for the kids tonight. Well, actually, what I was thinking is that bottle of wine, and I just need to get some ice and put that in and have it with the bottle of wine. But really, I was thinking about the kids' dinner and making sure they're fed. No one's saying anything, so I think that is the end. So I am going to leave you. Tomorrow morning is our last task. I hope you are ready to go for it. Should my pineapple be halved or kept whole? I liked it as it was. I think it worked. It was a fun shot. I think it worked. Yeah. Ask me anything else in the VIP, Fiona, if you're not sure what I'm saying. That's absolutely fine. Tomorrow, we've got the task. We've got the competition. Start thinking about, I would love you all to commit to put at least one photo into this food photography competition. You are in the zone. You know what's happening. Think about, have you got something that you can put into this food photography competition? So think about that. Tomorrow night, closing party. Wear something spangly, put your boob tube on, and we're going to go through prizes. We're going to go through the last photos. We're going to go through anything that you need to go through. Bring some wine, bring some beer, bring something like that. Unless, of course, it's 7 in the morning and I don't want to encourage wrong drinking. Oh, Clive's ordering an Indian in. Right, I'm starting waffling, so I really am going. I will see you all tomorrow. Clive, looking forward to seeing that boob tube. Take care. Bye.